Hello, cavemen. It's Miss Apezteguia here with you today, one of our assistant principals here at American Fork High School. Today, I want to talk about choices and consequences. We're into the final quarter of this school year, and it's a great time to reflect on the choices that we're making. I want to start by asking, have you ever stopped to consider the consequences of choices that you make? I hope the answer is yes. We each make many choices every day, and some choices we're conscious of. Others are just habits we don't even think about anymore. We just do them. There are some choices that I make every day to help me be happier and more organized. But before I share those, let's look at some of the consequences of choices in our lives. So what are choices and consequences? The dictionary says that a choice is an act of selecting or making a decision when faced with two or more possibilities. The definition of a consequence, a result or effect of an action or a condition. While both of these definitions are fairly short and straight to the point, there's still a lot to consider. Does every decision have a consequence? Yes, every decision does have a consequence. The consequences may be small or they may be huge, depending on what the choice is. Choices affect our future in many ways. It's not a surprise that we've all made a bad decision. That's part of being human. To some degree or another, we're all making mistakes and messing up from time to time. What matters more than making a bad decision in life is how you deal with it. Do you own up to that bad decision if you're caught? Are you going to keep making bad decisions? Or do you reassess and start going in a different direction? Often, bad decisions are made on the spur of the moment or taken because they're an easy way out. The right thing is often the harder route, but will always be worth it. One of the hard things about making bad decisions is that it's easy to keep going down that same path instead of stopping and reversing directions. When you've made a bad choice, you can think happy thoughts and think life is great, but eventually you have to deal with that decision. The good news is, for most things, it's fixable. Sometimes there are some consequences you might not want to face, but there's hope. There's less anxiety and stress after having fixed a bad choice. We all have choices that we're thinking about. As students, some of those choices you have are things like studying for an exam or doing your homework. When I do that, I'm able to show proficiency. If you skip class a lot, you might fail the class since your teacher doesn't have to work with you after the 6th absence. And you'll probably have a conversation with your parents, maybe even your assistant principal. Let's say you apply for a new job, you land an interview, but then you didn't prepare for the interview and you bomb. No new job for you. If you're being faced with an important decision in life, you probably know it. Big life decisions usually make us stop and consider consequences of choices in our lives. Seniors are thinking about major life decisions and what comes after graduation. Is the next step going to be education? What do you want to study? Where do you want to go to college? Some of you might be thinking about a job. Others might be thinking about going into the military. There are many options to consider. All part of that is thinking about how it affects your future. It's hard because the right decisions for your life might not be the same as your friend or someone else. The right decision will depend on your interests and wishes. That's why goal setting is so important. It defines the direction you want your life to go so that you can consciously structure your choices around it. There are a lot of things that can affect your choices. One of the most important things to remember is that we all have people to help. Students, you have a team of adults around you, your parents, teachers, counselors, advocates, administrators, church leaders, and other family members even, who are there to help you think through your choices and possible outcomes or consequences. Choices are personal. Each of us makes different choices and has different consequences for those choices. I don't like mornings. I never have. So I try to look at my calendar the night before so I know what's going to happen. I pick out my outfit so I don't have to think about it when my brain is still waking up in the morning. I also pick out what I'm eating for breakfast and lunch and have them ready to go in the fridge. I pack my backpack so I can grab it when I'm ready to go. All of these choices help me to be organized and prepared. They also lessen my stress. As Zig Ziglar said, you are free to choose, but you're not free from your consequences of your choice. As we're in the final quarter of the year, I encourage each of us to consider. Seniors, Make the choice to finish your East Shore units, go to class, and don't carry the stress of wondering if you'll be able to walk in May. Sophomores, make the choice to create a schedule and register for next year's classes so you're not stuck with a schedule you don't like. Everyone, make the choice to ask for help if you're overwhelmed in these steps. Or any other things you've got going on. If you don't know where to start or just need a problem-solving partner for these or any other choices or consequences that you're facing, do not wait.